Hey guys, I got a good one for you today. So that old AC that I pulled out on Tuesday was manufactured in October of 1972, based on that serial number. It's 1072 or the first four digits, so that means it's October of 1972. So that's pretty cool. So in today's video, I go ahead and I take that thing apart and I show you some of the old parts. I think it's got the original capacitors in it, and I show you the contactor, the compressor and stuff. Pretty cool, so enjoy the video. All right guys, let's take a closer look at this old AC unit that I pulled out of this old manufactured home yesterday. I actually pulled it out 2 days ago. Just brought it back here to the shop. So let's go over this thing. So maybe one of you guys can tell me what the year is of this, and I'll try to look it up. So it's a Coleman Mobile Modular Home Polar Prints. Model number 627-2D901. Serial number is 107-207748. I'm not even going to try to figure out the date off that serial. There's no way it's 1972. It can't be that old. I don't think this thing's 52 years old. So as you can see here, 3 pound. It holds 3 pounds of R22. That's pretty low charge for a. God, what size is this thing? See, I can't even tell based off that model number. I have no idea what size this is. I'm gonna say this is probably a 2-ton, but it is here. It is a maximum fuse size of 30. Minimum circuit ampacity is 20.5. So I don't know. 2-ton, maybe 3-ton. That upstairs could warrant the 3 tons of cooling. So, and it is in a pretty warm area too. Let's take a look at all these other numbers too. So the fan motor is 1.8 amps, 1/6 horsepower. Locked rotor amps is 55.5. Full load amps is 12.3. So, it's funny. It even tells you for each refrigerant line length what your total charge would be. That's pretty cool. So let's look at some of the other parts here. Oh, I also want to note, I might tell, I know it's R22. It's kind of cool. It had a sight glass on it. Had a 5, not a 3/8, but it had a 5/16 liquid line, and then a 5/8 suction. Now, it's been a while since I worked on R22s, or I used to install them when I first started. I'm gonna assume it's probably a 2-ton unit. Let's pull some of these parts out of here and take a look at them. Oh, and when I was pulling this out, I was wondering why they had 2 line voltage wires. They actually used 14.2 for the thermostat wire. So, yeah, crazy. Look at this old contactor here. Let's pull these capacitors out and take a look at them, see how old they might be. Alright guys, these look like the original capacitors that came with this unit, which is pretty amazing. You'll never get them to last that long these days. So this one is a Mallory 35 microfarad 370 VAC, normal 60 hertz. There's all your numbers on it. Look at the size of that sucker. Look how big it is compared to my meter. That is a big bad boy Herm compressor capacitor. That thing is heavy duty. It's heavy too. Then here's our fan cap. I can't quite read the microfarads on it, but we're going to apply our meter to it and see what we got. We'll do both of them, so we'll find out with me here. So I got my meter set to, let me turn the light on for you. Microfarads. Let's see what we got. Let's see if this guy's still within specs after all these years. He is. Look at that, guys. 34.94. That is awesome. For a capacitor that's probably 40 or 50 years old. They don't make them like this anymore. I'm going to save this one. I'm going to put it on my truck for truck stock. What the heck? Let's check the fan one. I bet you that's a 4. I bet you that's a 4 microfarad, 3.811. That's impressive. I'm gonna keep that one too. What the heck? Most of my stuff's 5 now. Look at that. 34.91. 34 point, yeah, right in there. It's still well within range. That's awesome. So these guys weren't the demise of this unit. It had a leak in it somewhere, whether it be in the unit or the indoor coil or the line set somewhere. Probably the line set, the way they ran it. But let's tear apart some more stuff and take a look at them. All right, guys, there's our old contactor. So here's our here's our line side, here's our load side, and then back here is our coil side, our 24-volt coil. You know, Y and C, hot and common, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if this coil's still good. Let's put this meter into ohms. Let's ohm her out and see what she got. If I can do this with one hand. And we have, let me turn the light on for you. Sorry about the camera work, guys. She's got 10 ohms across the coil. So still a good coil in this thing too, more than likely. Yeah, 10.1. So yeah, she still works. That wasn't the demise of the unit. Let's put him next to them. Let's pull another part off and take a look at it. I'm gonna pull the panel off the unit too and take a look at some of the stuff inside, see what she looks like. Just want to show you this real quick, guys. So, you know, here's all our connections to our contactor here. Then there's a landing bus here, basically, for your low voltages to go in and out. And then it's got this terminal block here. It says transformer primary, blower coil down there. It's got a jumper between those two. I bet you this was built a lot better than what they do today. So what I want to do is pull this panel off. Let's take a look at the interior components of this guy. All right, we got the panel off. So there's our old condenser fan motor. Look at that. Huh. Interesting. So it draws in. No, it draws in. It pulls. So it's pulling in through the coil there, and draws out through the louvers on the side, kind of like a window shaker. It does look like a window shaker. This old compressor, and then back in there, if you can see, is our filter dryer tucked way back in there, and it looks like it's is that? Yeah, it's flare connections on that old guy. So pretty cool. I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna check the windings in this compressor and see if it's still good. Let's check it out. I won't be able to probably get that very good on video, so I'll just tell you guys what the numbers are. Sight glass, pretty cool. Pretty cool old unit. All right, guys. So I got the cover off here, and I tested them all. So we got 4 ohms, 3.5, and 1. So we got a problem here somewhere. This compressor was no good, but. Well, I mean, it was running without any juice in it. Probably cooked him. So yeah, compressor's bad. I checked it; nothing was shorted to ground, but you know the windings are out. It's out of range. If you guys know how to check compressors, you know 3.5, 4, and 1 ohm between the 3 ain't gonna work. So yeah, just want to show you that. And I did check it. I got my meter right there. So. I don't know what else we can really look at on this guy. I'm going to probably pull him out. Well, no, I'm not going to pull him out. He's extremely heavy. This compressor is heavy as heck for its size. Let's see what else we can check out on it. All right, guys, this is the top. I went ahead and just pulled the top off and flipped it on its side so you could see in there. So yeah, what it does is this fan spins, draws the air this way, and then it discharges out the sides and the back, because it's got louvers on the back side too. Yeah, pretty cool. This motor still spins freely, no problem. You can kind of see some goo there. Nah, that's just the old paint off the compressor. Then you got your little slab coil here, just one-sided, for it to draw through. So yeah, I'm sure this thing wasn't very efficient. I'm going to call it probably an 8 SEER. But I want to look up this model and serial number and see how old this thing really is. I'm sure it's older than I think it is, actually. It's probably original to when they set the manufacturer home. Looks like the wasps have had, if I can say wasps, have had some fun back in there. And yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at the evaporator coil. I'm gonna flip this thing over, get it out of the way. Let's take a look at it too. All right, guys, old slant coil with most of it covered in dirt and debris. So look how they did the capillary tubes here. So it goes into this 3/8, and then they brazed in a thicker piece here to accept all your circuits here, and they're very small circuits. I'm going to say this is probably a 2-ton. I'm going to look this number up, but yeah, there's your slant coil. The funny thing is, they didn't have a drain hooked up to this. Oh, I don't know how this thing, this drain pan drained. It's really weird. There's nothing hooked up to it. It was just kind of dumping down into the hole that the line set, I mean, it was lined up with the hole that the line sets are in, so I have no idea. But yeah, she's seen better days. Good thing we're putting that nice Bosch in there. There's all the shell for everything, the air handler shell and everything, blower back in there. But yeah, pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at this old unit. I'm gonna go online and try to look this guy up, or maybe get some help from some of my colleagues and see what year this system is. Thanks for watching, guys.